Welcome back to the Bell Ringers podcast, where we talk all things
sports betting,
and we sprinkle a little pop culture here and there. My name's Tyler Press.
and I'm Ryan McDonald. And please follow us on or subscribe on YouTube at youtube.com/thebellringerspod. Follow us on social media at bellringerspod, TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter.
Make sure you comment on TikToks. We love the engagement.
We still have the giveaway going. I think until the 30th we're doing it.
Monday, right? Is it the
Yeah,
30th?
Monday.
Okay, yep.
So
Hop on that when you can.
I guess we're picking next pod then, because it'll be done by then.
Yeah, I guess we'll announce it next pod. Free Phillies jersey, Flyers jersey, Eagles jersey, Sixers jersey.
Indiana Fever jersey. You know, you can get what you want.
Well, no, it's going to be a Philly team if you're going to get the jersey, or it's an $80 gift card to Rally House.
Oh, yeah, but they could use it for the Indiana Fever jersey.
That's very true. We got...
Just saying, don't leave women out.
I wasn't going to leave women out. I mean,
You did.
Phillies leaving women out by not having a WNBA team. That's not on me.
We're trying to get one.
All right, we'll try a little harder. We got the NBA draft tonight, actually, so we got a few topics on that. NBA season just ended.
Yep. Small NFL news. One thing we just kind of missed over the past couple of weeks.
Mr. Irrelevant.
Yeah. No longer.
So, yeah.
WNBA. We have a little FIFA World Cup. You know, the Club World Cup, whatever it is. And then we got first 3 episodes of Stick.
Yeah. So first 3 episodes of Stick, we're going to break down at the end of the episode. Quick opinion.
Pretty good.
I'm loving it so far. I'm glad the fans voted for that one.
Yeah. It's all thanks to you guys. And then we have the draft of Leonardo DiCaprio movies at the very end.
Yeah, I'm pumped for that. Got some good ones to choose from. I'm excited to see your opinion.
So starting out with the NFL, Shedeur Sanders was caught speeding, going 101 miles an hour to 55.
That's a reckless driving, I believe.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, I don't know. From the body cam footage, it seemed like he was pretty cooperative, so it didn't sound like he got full thing. I think the cop said like the person, I don't know if he was like following someone, but I think the cop was like, yeah, the person in front of you was going 96. He's like, I got them at 96 and you at 101.
So he was following someone going.
I guess I don't know if they were like, it didn't seem like they were racing, but I don't know. It sounded like the guy was like, all right, well, you're doing everything you can, but I am going to give you like whatever. I don't know what that necessarily meant. Didn't really look into it. Yeah, I mean, he's going a little too fast. I think it's his second time.
If you're not the only one speeding on the road, I feel like, not saying the cop's going to go a little more easy on you, but I had this problem too where like I'll be driving and I won't even notice like that I'm getting to a point of a little too much over the speed limit, just because if the flow of traffic is going at that speed, it's kind of like I'm not really putting anyone in danger by following the speed that everybody else is going.
Yeah, I mean, to an extent. I mean, if everyone's going 100 miles an hour, you are putting everyone's in danger.
Yeah, you're in Germany on the
Autobahn.
Autobahn. I almost said U-Bahn.
Not the bar.
That's a bar in Philadelphia.
Yep, it is. Close.
That's a fun bar. I know it was. I was talking.
It was fun.
I was talking about the bar
today.
today.
To the point where it's not as much fun.
Yeah, we're getting old. Basement bars aren't for the elderly.
Yeah. But yeah, a little too fast. I mean, I do kind of agree. If you are like, if you're following someone like 15 over, I think that's kind of okay. Or like if the flow of traffic's 15 over. But
you're almost 50 over. That's a little extreme.
Yeah. Yep. If you're basically double the speed limit, that might be a problem. Except for in a school zone, that's fine.
Yeah. I mean, school zone's only 15. It's hard to not go 30.
Exactly.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Get the kids some bubbles.
Yeah.
Whatever, they can walk.
Really, 50 miles per hour?
Officially, I don't do that.
I mean, it just didn't sound that way.
Well, the schools are out, so it's allowed.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. Well, that's not really a school zone. The lights got to be flashing.
That's a good point.
So you do it while school is active and letting out.
Yep. So moving on to the topic we kind of forgot. We kind of completely forgot about Mr. Irrelevant's contract he signed with the 49ers. So he gets 5 years, $265 million extension, $182.55 guaranteed.
Good for him.
Yeah, I mean,
Mr. Irrelevant, going from Mr. Irrelevant to a max contract is pretty incredible.
Yeah, over $50 million a year.
Yeah, glad it's not me paying him.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say about that. Don't think he deserves that much money, but, I mean, he took him to the Super Bowl. But apparently he is allowed to get credit when going to the Super Bowl with the super team. But when our guy does it, it's...
Well, I don't know if you've seen, it's kind of all the arguments for the super team are kind of getting kicked out because, I see lists where it's like top 10 offenses. Not even on there. People saying like Penei Sewell's better than like Lane Johnson, stuff like that. Like, oh, this and that. Like, this player's better than Devontae Smith. everything like that. So it's like maybe maybe it wasn't a super team.
Yeah.
You can't really get both sides.
No, I mean I would agree. I get what you're saying. When it comes to they're a super team, unless when it comes to ranking, and then the super team somehow fades away. Like we don't have the best wide receiver duo. We're like, I think I've seen us at like 5 or so, and it's like, well, you were saying that Jalen Hurts had all the weapons carrying him, and
Yeah, and I think that I forget where it was, but the not in the top 10 of just total offenses is insane.
Well, I know Madden has us pretty damn low right now on the beta.
I forgot to look at that.
I think they had the Browns as an overall higher score than us.
Jeez.
I
mean, I know we lost some pieces on the defense, but not much.
But the Browns, dude, is unreal.
Yeah, they got a new running back, but like you're not going to start a rookie that high.
Yeah,
the quarterback is probably Joe Flacco.
Super Bowl winning team with a insanely overpowered offense and a elite defense. I think we had an 86 overall, which is unreal.
Usually I would have thought we got like an 89, 90. I feel like they always start like the highest teams around like a 90.
Oh no, the highest teams are around 90, but we're not.
Yeah, no, that's You had anything else in the NFL?
Not really. I mean, excited to see Aaron Rodgers and DK working together. I mean, I was just talking about that with a coworker of mine's a Steelers fan.
I think he did say it will be his final year. And then he wants to be away from all the media, except for the Pat McAfee show. Maybe Jeopardy. Maybe running for vice president. Those things are fine, but he can't. He just wants to be out of the media.
Do you know who's doing Hard Knocks in the offseason? Like preseason Hard Knocks?
I forget. I know the NFC East is doing the during season one.
I know, which I'm excited about.
I'll quick look it up. I feel like it's not a bad team.
No.
I just want to say it's the similar team that did it recently. I know there's you can't do it
within the last 5 years, I think.
Oh, it's the Bills.
I was going to say
so
Bills.
I knew it was either a good team or it was going to be.
So that's going to be actually a really good one.
Training camp with Buffalo Bills, and then in season with the NFC East. That's going to be fun.
That is going to be fun.
That's kind of weird because I thought they didn't do teams that made the playoffs, but they might have had to expand that with certain teams not being able to be in it. And they're like, we don't want it to be that bad.
Right. We do want it to be somewhat entertaining.
Let's not do the Giants. Because I don't know if they would have been able to do it because the last one was it was the off-season one. It wasn't actually the training camp one, so I don't know if the Giants would have been able to do it or not.
Yeah, that's all I had for NFL. I was somewhat curious about Aaron Rodgers.
It will be exciting. MLB, we got the Phillies kind of heating up. Took over first place after we beat the Mets in a division series. We're now 2-4 against them for the season series. I think we have 7 games left. We have 3 more in New York and then 4 more in Philly. The New York ones are in August, and then September they come to Philly.
Okay.
So it'd be kind of cool. We'll get probably late season, really valuable games to get. MLB All-Star Game, this is a really cool one. The uniforms are going back to the old uniforms. In terms of each team, each player will wear their team's uniform during the game.
Oh, okay.
Which I think looks. I mean, some of the uniforms they've done have looked kind of cool, but at the same time, it was way better. I feel like when each player had their own uniforms.
Right, and the one team the one team's wearing the white ones, right?
Yep, one gets whites, the other one gets the away grays.
Yeah, I like that too.
I doubt they would put in to bring in the weird jerseys.
No, I think that'd be an eyesore at that point when everyone's wearing their electric.
It would be kind of cool to do a game like that, but at the same time, I don't want that for the All-Star game.
No, I would agree. I think keep it clean.
Maybe the home run derby would be kind of cool to do that, but I think they're doing the traditional NL AL jerseys for that.
Okay.
Which that's fine. Cal Raleigh, catcher for the Mariners, just going insane. He has 32 home runs right now. He's got more home runs than Judge and Ohtani. He's on pace for 66, and when Judge hit 58 last year, he would tie Sammy Sosa for the 3rd most in a single season.
Holy shit.
And the most home runs by a catcher in a single season was 48, hit in 2021 by Salvador Perez. So he's doing something a catcher doesn't usually do.
Right.
You're sitting behind the plate almost every day, or you get those off days because you need a little bit of work. He does play DH sometimes, and he switch hits, which is just all around wild.
This guy's a fucking legend. Then I don't know this guy.
I think he's I think he's only been in the league a couple years, but he's been a good batter for most of it. Just pounds the ball.
I was gonna say, you were saying a catcher hasn't been up there or hasn't done this kind of number in a long time. For some reason, growing up, I always thought of the catcher as a heavy hitter.
I kind of agree, but I think part of it is they don't play every day. So yeah, they might be the slugging might be up there, but in terms of home runs for the total season, it's kind of low.
Okay.
Because even the record for the most home runs by an All-Star break is 29 by Johnny Bench. So like you think, oh, like All-Star break, basically halfway through the season, like you could hit for like 60,
Yeah.
but like maybe towards the end of the season they don't play as often.
Dude,
So they don't
I gotta get these yawns down. This is a problem right now.
So like by the end of the season they might not have as many games going in, but like, we might see that kind of change as catchers can just DH on off days
Right.
and stuff like that. I mean, obviously I want Schwarber to be up there, and it's his month now. It's Hoagie Fest month,
Yeah, it is.
so
Yeah.
officially ready for him to explode. Just kind of cool seeing a different guy up there than just Ohtani and Judge as well.
No, absolutely. I agree. And respect to the catcher position again. Your NBA.
Yeah, Thunder win the first title as being the Thunder. Seattle won in 1979, so it's been quite a while since even the franchise has gotten one. Yet, just really feel bad for Halliburton.
Yeah,
He was going off in the beginning too. He looked like he was really ready to play.
What did he got? Did he get hurt in the end of the first or the beginning of the second?
Into the first, I believe.
Do you know he still ended the game with the most threes?
Yep.
Like, that's unreal. Like, that game could have been so different.
It was close for so long too.
Yeah, I think I told you that. I was like, saw our group chat of like going off about like Halliburton getting hurt, and I was like, damn, like, don't even need to watch this game at this point. And then like, it was like the third quarter, and I like looked up the score on my phone. I'm like, shit, I should really turn this on. Like, if the Pacers pull this off without Halliburton for 3 quarters, I'm like, that's gonna be an absolute like a game that I wasn't too excited about. Like, no disrespect to either of the teams, but like the Pacers winning would have been sweet. I didn't think that they were gonna be able to. So like the Thunder, I don't love exactly. So I wasn't like thrilled about the championship or Game 7 and the series in general, but. Yeah, the Pacers pulling that off, I was like, I have to watch the end of this game because that would be the most legendary thing ever.
Yeah, possibly see T.J. McConnell hoist up an MVP trophy.
Yeah, like that would be
he
sick.
played his balls off. I mean, he was like the only Pacer that scored in the third quarter.
I know. And
Or
like
like, there was like I think it was like 3 and some minutes left in the third or something like that. They just stopped scoring until like 8.5 in the fourth. They just terrible dry run that just kind of pulled the Thunder over.
Yeah, I felt bad for TJ too. He took a lot of the blame for himself.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it definitely wasn't his fault. He was the only reason why they were in it. He won them like the one game handily.
Yeah.
Or like single-handedly. I did see that he was crying in the tunnel. His mom was kind of shooing everyone away. And at first it was kind of like, all right, I love TJ, but at the same time, like, you're a professional athlete. You get paid to play sports on TV. You kind of have to be open to some of these things being on TV.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, no,
I understand if it's like a personal thing, but then I found out his grandmother died recently, so then I felt bad.
Stop being a pussy.
Yeah, and I was like, I kind of now I feel bad.
Then I realized that his grandma just died too, so you get a pass.
Why? Yeah, I think it's fair.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Might have more of the emotions, and it's also part of me was like, well, Joe Embiid's crying faces all over everywhere, so I think it's kind of unfair.
I thought I was about to bring that up too. I was like, there is a bad like culture of when like someone is very emotional and passionate about the game and they lose and they get emotional, that it's just hammered down as being like an absolute dickhead to him. Like, he becomes a meme for crying.
Yeah.
I mean, goddamn, Will Smith was learning about his wife cheating on him and was crying and became the biggest meme of the year.
That's where that came from.
Like, that is doing this guy so dirty.
I forgot about that. That sucks. Moving on from the crying team, going to the winning team, SGA becomes the first player in 25 years to win MVP, scoring title, and Finals MVP in the same season. Only 4 have ever done it: Shaq, MJ, and Kareem. MJ might have done it 4 times.
Okay.
It's kind of a lot. Thunder, the second youngest team to win the title. The youngest was the 1977 Portland Trailblazers.
Okay. That was something that they had going for them. They were a young team.
Yeah.
A young team with still a good bit of draft picks, too.
Yeah, they have the number 15 pick, and apparently they want to move up.
I hate them already.
Which is kind of weird because this isn't like a
great draft.
Yeah, great draft. I don't know if they just want to move up, like maybe they just think like after like 10 it really falls off.
I don't know. I mean,
but then at the same time, it's what are you going to give up to move up that high? Like, why would you?
They do have a shit ton of picks to give up, but like you said, I'd rather kind of have them for another draft. Hopefully, it's a bit more.
Yeah, because more than likely you're going to have to like pay guys much higher salaries. It's like maybe you want to save those so that you can get cheaper like bench guys. We have some just general NBA news. Obviously, the draft coming up. KD's finally traded to the Houston Rockets.
Yeah,
goes there and Suns get Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, pick number 10, and 5 future second-round picks in return. Not a bad, return.
Yeah, future second rounders is. I mean, what were we talking about? The trade gonna be like? I think it was like KD for like a couple 2 to 3 firsts.
Oh, I mean, I was thinking maybe be like PG in third.
A third, really?
No, like, well, there's no third. Like the number 3 pick.
Oh, yeah.
There's no third
So
rounds.
a first round, yeah. So I was confused about. Yeah, I feel like he's worth a first round. I mean, who are the players that they gave up?
Oh, well, they got pick number 10. So they got Jalen Green and Dylan Brooks, and Jalen Green's a good player. So
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I think they got back decent stuff, but at the same time, the Suns, if pick 10 definitely helps, but at the same time, it's just like you guys they're just treading water in like the 7, 8 seed territory. It's like you got to blow it up, or I mean, basically at this point, I feel like you just blow it up.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
It's not like a duo of Bradley Beal and Devin Booker. I feel like is really getting me pumped up anytime soon.
I don't know.
Like I like Bradley Beal. I still like Devin Booker. I liked Bradley Beal years ago, but I just don't think he could play most of a season.
Yeah.
And 2, just don't think he has it necessarily in him.
I was gonna say on face value, there's 2. Maybe I just haven't watched Bradley Beal in recent years, but Devin Booker and Bradley Beal together sounds pretty good to me.
Yeah, no, that's kind of what I thought when they first got him, and then I was like watching the season. I was like, well, he's not playing.
Yeah, I hear you.
The Celtics are kind of shedding a lot of roster. I think they've shed over $100 million so far. They traded Porzingis to Atlanta with a second round pick for George Niang and a second round pick.
No shit.
Yeah, and
I like Niang.
Yeah, I think the Nets were involved in that too. It was a 3-team trade.
Okay.
I think that's when they got Terrence Mann and something else. I forget. But that wasn't really a big part of it. But they also got rid of Drew Holiday, which I'm glad he's not on the team anymore because I like Drew Holiday.
Yeah.
Where did he go? He went to the Trailblazers for Anthony Simmons and 2 second-round picks.
Okay.
And now everyone's kind of like, what else are they going to get rid of? I think the Jazz, and there's another team that were really asking for Jaylen Brown. Heavy.
I mean, they're just emptying out everybody then at that point.
Yeah, I mean, they're asking about Jaylen Brown and Derek White. So it's like, are you just going to keep Tatum and
the dude who's not playing next year?
Yeah, send everyone away. Well, might not be the worst thing. If you're going to kind of blow it up a little bit, get rid of everyone but that guy so he just sits and then your team does worse and you get a better pick.
Yeah, I mean, true. Like, if the one star that you're keeping, you're taking a year off,
Yeah.
you can at least come out of this with a good first-round pick, maybe.
And then you really wouldn't even want to rush him back to get back sooner. Because if Jaylen Brown and Derek White stay, they're probably going to still be a pretty decent team.
Yeah.
Make the playoffs, so you might be, at that point, you might be like, hey, let's try and get him back, like, with at least like 20, 25 games left in the season to get him back to health or get him back to like playing shape. The other meaningful trade, or at least semi-meaningful trade I saw, was Pelicans trading C.J. McCollum, Kelly Olynyk, and a future second-round pick to the Wizards for Jordan Poole, Sadiq Bey, and pick 40.
Okay. So, draft tonight, though.
Yeah. How are we going to fuck it up?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I already don't like that. I thought we were pretty much locked in at the, what was it, Ace
Bailey?
Ace. I don't know why I kept calling him Ash.
Ash
Bailey.
Ketchum. We're getting Ash Ketchum, Pokemon trainer,
I would
at the
love
third
that.
pick.
Dude, that would be a steal.
He just starts throwing Pokeballs at
Yeah.
all the players. You're mine now.
Yeah, just
the Max like, I don't think that's how that
he
works.
steps up, just throws him a chant just to dominate the fucking court.
LeBron, I choose you. Wait, what?
He just starts kidnapping people.
That'd be sick, actually.
Yeah. Man, that guy on that team's really good. Just fucking throw a Pokeball at him. But Ace,
Who would be the best Pokemon?
best Pokemon basketball player? That's tough. Like I said,
Machamp might not have been a bad guess.
Machamp might not have been a bad one. No.
Box out everyone.
Yeah, I know there's one of the fire starters is like a soccer player, but I don't know if I've ever seen a basketball anyone.
I think the answer might just be Machamp.
Machamp's I don't know how fast he is, but no, Machamp would be a fucking really good one though.
He'd just be a beast
Yeah.
defender.
Oh wait, yeah, it's Machamp. He's got 4 hands.
Yeah, I was kind of yeah.
I was just thinking of I think I was thinking of Machoke, the a buff dude. But yeah, Machamp's got 4 hands and he's an absolute unit.
I was gonna mention that part, but I didn't want to be wrong, so I didn't say the 4 hands.
Yeah,
part.
no,
I didn't want to say that and be like, no, it's Machoke, and be like, damn it.
I think it's like I said. I can look into this a little bit more.
I'm pretty sure you're right because I remember looking at my TCG cards and being like, fucking love Machamp.
Machamp is what a beast. Yeah, Machamp's. I think all right, that might have been a good just initial throw up on me then.
Yeah, back to the Sixers. I was like, where were we?
Yeah, what were we talking about? Back to Ace. I hear he doesn't want to play for Philly at all.
I don't know. I saw you want to play the Hornets or the Jazz, I think, or you want to get traded to them, but he hasn't really worked out with like anyone, so I don't know what that is.
Yeah, but they declined a meeting with Morey or.
Yeah, but I think he's declined with he's declined workouts with everyone, or just said he's not working out with anyone.
So he hasn't said anything specific about Philly then.
Not that I've seen, but I might have also just missed it.
Okay,
But at the same time, I mean, I don't like I think if like you're pretty sure you're gonna go like top 3 or whatever, I'm fine with like you like if we're like at like 10, you declining a workout. Like I don't see that as a bad thing.
Or with a 3 pick.
Yeah, and you're projected to be the one that would be still available. I think one, you're hurting yourself.
Yeah,
because it looks like he's just falling to like mock draft like pick 7, and now everyone thinks we're gonna get VJ Edgecombe, which I don't think would be bad. I just
VJ, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just hoping that he would have been like available at like 5, and we could move back a couple picks and like get something.
Yeah, I've seen different stuff of who we're looking at.
Con Canoopel.
Yes,
that's one of them.
Obviously, Ace. I've seen Ace going 2, and then us getting the other guy.
That would be sick, but I would doubt
Murray,
it.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Harper.
Harper.
I don't know
No,
who Murray
Harper.
is.
No, Murray. I thought it was just the name sounded.
Oh.
But yeah, Harper is the one I was thinking of. That would be sick.
Yeah, that he's one. I think he's worth it. But I think if obviously he flags me going, I think if Harper's gone, it's just more worth it to trade the pick if you can. But at the same time, I think Edgecombe is pretty good. So I mean, it's not gonna be terrible. I just think most of the guys after the first 2 aren't really ready to play right now.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'd be worth it to get a role player that can help, and then still a lottery pick.
Like get somebody else that can help the team now, while also like the drop off isn't that significant that when we trade back a little bit, it's not hurting us too much.
Yeah, because then like it's still a player we can like develop and has like a lower contract like a amount, so it's still something we can use and fill a spot.
Okay. Obviously, NHL ended before last week's episode, so I was able to put a nice bow on that. But there was a trade that the Flyers were able to make for a young stud who, at one, I think he's played 5 or 6 years, so not too young, but steadily was growing to be an absolute beast in years. So the last 2 years he was hurt. 2 years before that he was disgusting. Got on the NHL cover even, playing so well. But then the following 2 years he was hurt, banged up, didn't have great seasons. But
I was happy to know because I recognize the name right away.
Trevor Zegras.
Yeah, I was like, that's a name I know from hockey, and there's not many outside of the Flyers that I know, so that's a good sign.
I'll tell you why you know him is because he was, when he was playing great, was scoring some insane goals. Like he was going through the legs, lift up to the upper post. Like
there was one clip of him, must have been like in a practice one, and it was just like basically like a shootout like kind of move, and it looked sick. It was like kind of like a Michigan, but like not full. Yeah.
So he's disgusting when healthy. We got him in a trade for we traded away Ryan Poehling, a 2nd-round pick this draft, and a 4th round next year. If he can be as good as he was before the injuries, is a absolute steal.
Yeah.
The only comments I've seen from him so far is eager to be the best version of myself, which, like I said, that means we're getting what he was when he's NHL cover. I think is going to be a huge jump. Him and Michkov playing together too is going to be
sick line.
Absolutely disgusting. So big ups for the Flyers. Maybe have a team that can make the playoffs this year.
Are we going to have those? Who would the first line be? Or would Michkov? Because I can't imagine Michkov and him would be on the second line.
No. They well, I mean, as I said, because we haven't seen him play in 2 years, so it is up for debate on where he's just thrown in immediately. But
because our first line is TK, was it Coots and Tippett?
I think so. I remember the last time Coots wasn't healthy for a few games I was watching, but yeah, I believe that's their line. Second line, Michkov's on with a couple others. I think Scott Lawton runs the third line, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
But big addition to the Flyers, something that we can be excited about going into next year. And not only that, we have, I think, a pretty good draft pick, I believe, too.
I think 6 or 7.
Yeah, so that
I remember we kind of got cooked on it, but
it was
it was kind of like the lowest we could get or something like that. But still, I mean, still take a top 10 pick.
Right, and that draft is on Friday.
That one I wasn't really paying attention to the time. That's cool.
So we have a couple drafts to watch this week, and we will have people to obviously break down next week on who we get and how we feel about it.
I think all I saw was just someone being like, oh, this newest mock draft or whatever has this sick defender falling. And I was like, that's cool, but I don't know who that is, and it's not for sure yet, so I'm going to wait.
Yeah.
And just see hype videos of the player that we do end up getting and just base all my thoughts on that.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, oh, this guy's an absolute steal. How do we get him at 6?
Yeah. Well, all you've seen are his good plays. So, yeah, that's the point.
This is highlight play. Oh my god, he's gonna change our team completely.
All right, moving on to women's sports in the WNBA.
We love him.
Yeah,
We love it.
love women and sports.
Only Caitlin Clark though.
Well, and her enforcer, new enforcer is pretty cool.
Yeah,
Sophie Cunningham.
yeah. She got a really cool face and body. I'm just kidding.
Only on the court, though. We're strictly talking about the court.
Yeah,
The way she uses her body to enforce.
Yeah, enforcer. She sticks up for our girl. So Caitlin Clark, just to explain what we're talking about, in a trade, the Indiana Fever receive Sophie Cunningham from Phoenix. You know the Phoenix team?
Mercury.
Yeah, damn straight, Ryan. Good job. I didn't write it down. I didn't know either. It's from the Phoenix Mercury in a 4-team trade, so it was pieces going everywhere. But Caitlin Clark this season has gotten some pretty chippy fouls on her, and we're not fans of it. Before Sophie Cunningham came around, we were kind of like, she kind of needs someone on our team that's just going to be like a
Draymond Green type.
Exactly. She needed Draymond Green on her team, and then this trade goes through, and Sophie Cunningham, I found this out, has been someone who vocally has been sticking up for Caitlin Clark with any time she gets backlash from like the WNBA media, like just dogging her, saying that she shouldn't be this, she shouldn't be that. She's been actively like supporting her, while not on the same team. And then she comes over here, and I don't know if it was her first game with the Fever, but guard was playing tight defense on Caitlin, kind of like swiped her hand at her face and got her in the eye, and
definitely got her in the eye. That was
There was a little bit of a scruffle after that, but.
She got pushed to the ground, basically.
Yeah.
Like body checked to the ground.
Yeah. Caitlin gave the girl like a shove, like, yo, what the hell are you doing?
And then basically
their
walking
center
away
comes,
almost.
yeah, their center comes running in and just bodies Caitlin to the ground. Unreal treatment this girl's getting. But later on in the game, the point guard that fouled Caitlin was driving on Sophie Cunningham, and she pretty much just took her upper body and threw her to the ground. And then like they got back up, and she immediately like grabbed her by the head.
And I think she said, "What the fuck are you gonna do?"
Yeah.
I think she's also a black belt, which is sick. So she's
Absolutely
she's
badass.
fully ready to go down.
Yeah. So yeah, we're big fans of Sophie Cunningham now.
I did see it was either the Indiana Fever actual account or it might have been a parody account, because I know there is one on Twitter, and I can't remember if it was the right one or not.
Okay.
But they posted a picture of like her in a bathing suit or something like that, and it was like our new enforcer. And then someone was like, "Imagine if the Warriors did this with Draymond Green," and then put a Photoshop of it. I was like, "That's hilarious."
That is really good.
Just imagine
just a swimsuit picture.
It wasn't in a men's swimsuit. It was in the same like black one-piece swimsuit. It looked so funny.
Great. That is good.
Just Draymond's big ass just hanging out.
But I did see that since that play, like that game, her TikTok followers have doubled, her Instagram followers have doubled, and her jerseys have sold out, which is pretty sick.
Yeah.
Coming to a new team, and you make one play just defending their star player, and immediately the fans just adore you.
Some fans are new, and they just found out about it. I've been here for a while. I had to go through the scandals of her, being in an affair with the Phoenix Mercury's owner.
Oh, jeez. You've been a big Sophie Cunningham fan for a while, then.
Yeah, just had to recognize.
Supporting all of her affairs?
No, not that one. Well, so that's weird the way. So he was the one that was married. So she didn't do any necessarily wrongdoing. So she's fine. But that other guy that also owns the Phoenix Suns is a dick. Bad guy.
Yeah, that is a bad guy. I don't know what guys own women WNBA teams, and I feel like say you were
they don't own the players, Tyler.
No, well, if you were the wife of a millionaire, billionaire, and he buys a WNBA team, I feel a little sketchy about it.
Hey, Mav on the NBA team first. I don't know if they were bought as a package deal or what.
He had the NBA team too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, he has both. No, Justin, I mean, it's a cheaper enterprise to buy, so it might be a little bit easier to get.
But
it's a little,
it's a little suspicious, I'd say.
I might have to, she might have to show up to the office multiple times a week.
Set some teddy bear cameras up.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, men are dogs, and women should be treated with utmost respect.
Yeah. Angel Reese also in the news. She trademarked Me Bounds,
which was a dig on her.
Yes, by Club 520 podcast. I think the first one was Bishop B. Hen. It's a pretty funny joke. So, she gets all the me-bounds. I mean, good for her on, monetizing her, the joke at her expense.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree. I mean, can't blame her for doing that, but she gets all this, like, praise, like, oh, like, she's getting double-doubles, triple-doubles. Like, dude, if you actually watch her play, like, she's not, like, making these hustle rebounds. I mean, she does, but, like, half her rebounds are literally her being the biggest one down low, going up for a layup, and missing it twice and getting the board back. Like, that's... Getting your own rebound is a little... I mean, obviously, it's a good thing to do, and it should count as a stat, but...
I mean, I made fun of Tobias Harris when he got a bunch of me-bounds.
Yeah. It's something to be made fun of for.
Yeah, I wasn't like, oh, look at Toby lighting up the boards. I was like, this guy stinks.
Yeah.
Get him off my team.
People are going to be talking about not just Caitlin Clark, but Tobias Harris.
Yeah. The Tobias Harris of the WNBA.
Yeah.
Moving on from women's basketball to the FIFA Club World Cup.
That was fun, right? We should do that more often.
Yeah, women's sports.
Yeah, I'm a big fan.
Weekly. So we do sports betting, sport or pop culture, and women's sports.
And women's sports. Not how many sports podcasts do you know that do that? Not many. Bell ringers.
I'm pretty sure Angel Reese has a sports podcast.
Yeah, good sports podcast that you know. All right, go ahead. FIFA World Cup.
Yeah, really the only thing I had to say was they're having some of the games in Philly and the other U.S. locations for the World Cup. I guess kind of like as a preliminary, like, let's try these out.
Mm-hmm.
And some
didn't go that well the first time, did it?
Well, I thought it looked pretty cool.
It looked cool, but they were lighting our stadium on fire.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like, I gotta imagine they at the same time the Eagle Link does not have good security. I feel like in terms of like what you can get in with.
Yeah,
I feel like they don't check at all. Like the bank has like the metal detectors. Wells Fargo has metal detectors. I don't remember the Link having anything.
They got people scanning you.
Yeah, but that's not the... I guess. I didn't even know if they had that.
They do. You can't get in there with a non-clear bag, and they have the little beepers.
All right. I feel like I remember that being a lot less intrusive than almost anything else.
I mean, I think that's for Eagles games. I don't know if they did all the steps and measures for these games, because literally I don't know how there was like a massive fire in the sands.
Yeah, well, I think they had flares and like smoke things, which it'd be kind of sick to take those in the Eagles game. Imagine the other team like getting scored on and seeing that happen. Like they would leave. They would just forfeit.
Like 3 sections were just completely gassed out.
Yeah, it was the end zone.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I would hate for me to not have brought that, and then I'm sitting there and I immediately can't.
Yeah, no, I don't want to be a part of that. I'm just saying
it would be sick being in the other end zone watching it,
and then watching the other team being like, let's go home.
Yeah, you're dominating a team, and then it's just fans are just throwing flares around. It would be badass, but it caused chaos, and I think they had to pause the game for a while.
Yeah, it was the Wydad fans after they scored their single goal against Juventus, so they still got beat like 3-1.
That's ridiculous.
So you do all that and you lose.
Yeah, that's actually crazy. I did not realize that was the case of it. I was a little pissed off when I saw it. I didn't even see the content of it. I was just like, that's my fucking link. Disrespecting.
I know they do that like in their own stadium, stuff like that, so I assumed it wasn't, damaging.
Yeah, I hear you saying. All right.
But if it does damage, then get out of my stadium.
You got something else on FIFA World Cup?
No, that was it.
Okay. So, the show we started, Shtick.
Yeah, with Owen Wilson and I don't know the other actors' names.
No. Owen Wilson, Lightning McQueen, is the lead. He's a former golf pro with a mental breakdown and crumbled.
Yep.
Which
kicked out of the tour.
Kicked out of the tour has kind of got him down on his luck.
Oh, also, I mean, if you haven't watched the first 3 episodes, spoiler warning. We watched this is all for first 3. So anything from the first 3 episodes is possible in this breakdown.
That was a good catch. I feel like I didn't say anything that probably wasn't on like the cover screen or the title.
No, I just was catching us before we did.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Ryan. Other than going, he died like you did for Last of Us.
That was we were watching, weekly, so I didn't feel any fault in that.
Yeah, okay. But like I said, first reactions. You do like the show?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good.
I'm a big fan. I don't know why I didn't like. I just thought it was gonna be a joyful golf thing. There's definitely some emotional packaging here.
Yeah, a little more than I thought. I knew it started out where like he was like he basically had like fallen off of where he was and was trying to get back, but that was all I knew.
And they get into a little more of the family stuff that led to his demise too.
Yeah,
which
I feel like I'm pretty confident the son died at some point, and that was part of his like breakdown. I don't know if it was like at the or right around the time that.
I think guarantee you that the son died at some point, right?
Yeah. Well,
where you watched flashbacks of a son that was not seen in the
No,
present time.
I meant more like,
and
like
then the mother said something. The wife said something to him like, "It's not going to replace him, or it's not going to bring him back."
Yeah. I didn't remember the bringing back thing.
Yeah. So when he first pitched the idea of the golfer, she said something to him like, "It's not going to bring him back."
Oh, I thought she was talking about. Yeah, now I'm seeing it. I thought she was talking about like him, like bringing, like it's not gonna bring you back.
No, I as soon as that was even before we saw the video, and I was like, I think we got a dead son. I
think that might have been why I didn't put two and two together at first.
Yeah. So let's try to go episode by episode. Episode 1, we catch Owen Wilson training a few people in golf, selling golf equipment in a country club.
Yeah, which that it was like a golf superstore. That club that he like put on the guy, just great salesman skills, because that club, PXGs, are one of the most expensive clubs you get.
That sounded like it was $1,200, wasn't it?
Yeah, those are ridiculous. Like you only buy those if you're super rich and don't care.
Or
like it's not worth it at all to buy those. If most clubs are actually, I think most players use like other brands in PXG.
And like I said, it's not going to turn you into a pro.
No, not at all.
So,
but like just great idea, just being like, you know what, you're big boy. Like this is a little too much for you, I don't think.
No,
like,
probably shouldn't start you off with this.
Force them to take it and then be like, oh, you swing so good with that. You have to take this.
I got to ask you something too. The guy that he sold that to, is that the guy that ends up being with the ex-wife?
I don't think so.
They looked eerily similar.
They did.
When he first came up, I was like, is that the guy he sold to? And then like they never brought that up again. I was like, maybe I'm just thinking, like just putting these two as the same person. But
I don't think that was Bento Ben.
Okay, yeah, no. But yeah, so he's selling, he's teaching lessons, and he's teaching lessons near a driving range, of which he hears just rifles going off. And that is our young star and Santi, co-lead character or player of the show, and I like him.
Yeah, he's funny. Does wear really baggy pants.
The pants
are kind of bothering me. The way he tucks in his shirt when he's on the course.
Yeah,
it's a little,
So
surprised he got away with
his
that.
first event. The pants weren't bothering me as much as when he first took him golfing. Just the two of them. Yeah, those pants were egregious.
Like the Jinkos he had on the driving range.
Yeah, dude, they were insane. When he went up to the first tee to drive, and he was like trying to show off to the old caddy. The pants he was wearing in that were absolutely insane.
But that and like even like the sweatpants he had on, like when he saw him at his house or whatever the one time, I was also just insanely baggy. I was like, what is this kid doing? Does he hate?
Yeah.
Like, I understand you don't have to be skin tight, but like, come on.
So was it Santi? Works at a grocery store or a market.
On the manager track.
Yeah, sneaks onto the driving range and doesn't pay. And Owen Wilson saw him driving, kind of bet him that he couldn't hit 250 marker or 200 marker.
200, 250, and then he hit the 320 shed.
He's like, I bet you can't land 5 yards within that 250 marker, and then he just drops it. And then, he goes...
Wait, hits a sign, which like...
Hits the sign, that's what I meant, yeah.
Obviously, this is a show, but that is just insanely unrealistic.
Yeah, I mean, that's quite the feat. I think that's why Owen Wilson was blown away by it. That's something else. Yeah, I agree with you.
That's ridiculous.
Yes, I agree with you. And then he goes, what about the 320 marker? There is no 320 marker. And then he just rifles it at a shed that's at 320 yards. And
I don't know. I didn't see a rangefinder that he used, so I don't know. We'll wait to determine that. I mean, I'm sure it's right.
He's been doing it for a while, so I'm sure he found out what the length is. The whole episode 1 is pretty much him, like, kind of stalking him, trying to get him to do it.
Yeah, it is a little weird.
Yeah.
Finds out where he works.
Finds out where he works, goes to his work into, like, the back storage section of the market, tries to convince him, and then finds out where his mom works and goes there to convince her. So...
Well, yeah, I think he walks into the store and he's like, go fuck yourself didn't come up in the yellow pages or something like that.
Oh, yeah, that was funny. Santi. Santi. I keep trying to say Santos. Santi introduced himself to Owen Wilson as "Go fuck yourself."
He's like, "Is it a family name?"
That was good.
Some of the jokes are pretty good.
Yeah, no, I was laughing.
He's also kind of in the middle. Well, he's post-divorce in the middle of like his ex-wife, kicking him out of the house he's been living in that they must have bought together, and it seems like he's kind of down on money too. So this is kind of he's hoping to get some returns from this investment. And one thing I have to kind of say is on his wall he has like the U.S. Open 18 flag, so that probably means he won that tournament. Mm-hmm. And there was like a thing of him in the Masters, laying up the Masters. Probably won other tournaments. It's almost unfeasible that you could lose that amount. Obviously, people can lose money quickly, but it would I just can't imagine he could lose all that money that quickly.
I mean, he's a betting man. heavily.
Yeah.
So
I
watched him do a lot of betting so far.
I thought maybe that might have just been now that he's broke and trying to get money back, but that's probably something you just always had.
But I see what you're saying with winning that many things. Like you're in the multi-millions.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean
the purse is now you win if you win a tournament you get like $3-4 million.
To a point too, he has a massive house that I'm sure.
But she seems like she's doing all right for herself.
Very true too. That's a good point. The two of them combined with the money he would have made on the tours and her having a steady job, should have been able to pay for it. But yeah, so to your point, he is losing she's not losing the house. They're getting divorced. The divorce is finalized, and now it's coming down to the time where she wants to sell the house. And
it's been finalized for I think like they said like 2 or 3 years or whatever.
So it's 2 years.
And she was like, "I'll let you live in there until you get like back on you get your own place, get back on your feet." And then she's like, "It's been 2 years. What are you doing?"
Yeah, and he's definitely not on his feet. The house is an absolute wreck. He
looks like the back hall of a pro shop, just with like papers everywhere and a bin of golf balls. And,
little putting greens and golf balls everywhere. Listen, the pool was disgusting. He went outside to clean the pool, and then we just got a montage of him just like almost like ADHD brain, like, oh wait, there's my bowl, smoking the bowl, starts drinking beer, starts just fucking around in the garage, looks at the pool, cleans up again, gets distracted again, and then eventually just never cleans the pool. But
it tries to, and then he just
sprays everywhere. Yeah, failure. Yeah, this thing going on where she wants to sell the house, he's just attached to it, and I don't know if it has to do with him not wanting the relationship to be over.
I think that's a big part of it.
Yeah.
I think he's still imagining that she's going to go back to him.
Yeah, which you kind of get that too later on with a comment she makes. And
you look so good.
Eventually, talks to Santi's mom. She explains that he used to be a really, really good golfer, and they make a deal that he has to cover all expenses, travel, everything while they go on this amateurs.
For both of them, so the mom wants to go.
For both of them now, and she wants $100,000 flat in the very beginning before they even leave.
I get you want to be there with your son. Your son's apparently, I think they said 17.
You're making a woman who.
I don't think she needs to quit her job and leave. I think she could stay. It's a summer. I don't think it's that big a deal.
This is a man that she has just met.
No, I understand this part. But I don't know. It's
her only child. Went through a tough divorce together.
Yeah, no, I'm getting all this, but like it's also a huge sum of money.
It's a massive sum of money, but she looked at this guy as a former pro. Like, well, you can't swim together.
I'm pretty sure at that point, Shorty knew he crashed out.
Yeah, but you want to invest in my son? Well, I'm with it along the way,
but she did say 70-30 all future earnings. So if that goes, it's not legally binding, but.
That's a good deal for him.
Yeah, because if that means when he also turns pro, it's a pretty fucking solid deal.
Yeah, that's an insane deal. So
if all things work out, it works out in favor of him.
Yeah, and again, which adds to she's like, I know how good my son is. If you're gonna make do the legwork to get him recognized and get him to that level, he's gonna be making some money, and
it's gonna be worth it.
70-30 is a great deal, but I'm not quitting my job and having you quit on him.
Yeah, so, and I don't think she didn't discount or say no to brand deals, stuff like that. So he just gets everything.
Which would be insane.
I don't think that the show's gonna get that deep into it, but we'll see.
I was gonna say like two or three seasons. They're like, you're getting a lot of money from us. Like 70-30. This was the deal.
I didn't think that would count this Baskin Robbins deal.
Yeah, he earned this himself. But so fast forward
Sunday. I don't think you were gonna get a part of that brand deal.
Yeah. She agrees. He gets the $100,000 from agreeing to sell the house.
Yep. His ex-wife first said $75,000 if they sell the house, and then he was kind of against selling the house. Obviously, he still didn't want to sign the papers. Then he comes back and says, "If you give me $100,000, I'll sign this."
Yeah.
And she says, "What do you need that for?" He's like, "I needed to do this, this trip with this kid. He's amazing." And she just still like, no. And then he's like, "Just come look at him hit the ball." And hits that ridiculous shot into a dumpster.
I was gonna say, you're gonna say those mile markers are unfeasible.
Oh well, yeah.
That dumpster,
it's just all of it is.
Yeah, that dumpster is insane. Like no practice, straight off of work.
Probably 150 yards. You're hitting off of a welcome mat in probably sneakers or like just flat shoes in a parking lot. You're slipping.
This kid's special, right? This kid's special. Just gotta get out of his head.
Yeah, the Gary, what is it?
Wienermeyer? Yeah, something Wiener. I like that name. It was a funny fucking name, too. It is. Yeah, so it was a former pro that would just focus on his next shot, and he said it's zero.
Yeah.
Part of something.
Part of me was like, you're explaining like if the kid doesn't know who he is, probably wasn't that good of a pro. So how good of a tip is it?
Yeah, that's true. But the kid didn't barely knew. Oh no, he was making fun of with the Arnold Palmer stuff.
Yeah, it was funny. It was like, what's on our Palmer? It's iced tea,
lemonade, mix it. But they take him golfing. You can kind of see like if he shoots a bad shot, he kind of starts to crumble a little bit.
Yeah, you especially see that in like when he takes him to his store and like has him hitting on
Simulator.
Like yeah. I'm pretty sure like I saw the one drive went like 280. I was like, where the fuck did that 320 come from?
Mm-hmm.
You just hit it 280. That's not the same thing.
That's much shorter.
It's about 40 yards difference.
But I guess you can really let loose in driving range, let alone compared to when you're aiming for a fairway. That's a lot. That's a big difference, though.
Yeah,
I hear you. And actually, to your point,
like
he sniped out a shed at 320.
Yeah.
I was not letting loose at driving range. He does the simulator, and moving on to episode 3, he takes him to his first event. Starts off really well. Slices a drive into or out of. I don't know if he's out of bounds, but into the rough.
Oh yeah, I don't think he's out of bounds.
And then just bad shot after bad shot, and then by the end of the front 9, he was +6.
Yeah, which is, I mean,
not great.
It's not bad, but not great for a tournament like that.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I shot in the middle of high school for a team, so I thought it was pretty good then. And then
Yeah.
got it down lower, and I was like, this is actually better. Now I actually am doing something.
But also, before the event started, Owen Wilson bet.
Oh, that part pissed me off. Like, not like at Owen Wilson's character, not like it was like a bad part of the show. I like that they added that in there because, like you said, it's showing us that he is just probably a addictive gambler.
Yeah. But bet $3,000 that he definitely does not have on this kid for an event that this, like you said, they haven't fully fixed his problem of getting it out of his head, and we watched it happen. And after the front 9, him being at +6, Owen Wilson really started to think panic because he realized like I got fucking $3,000 on this kid and he's +6.
Yeah, I think the person who's playing. Well, I mean, granted, the bet was he had to win it all anyway.
Yeah,
but the person who's playing was in first place.
Yeah, so he kind of let loose onto the kid, at which we do know that when he used to golf, his dad would train him, and he quit golf because of his dad.
Yeah,
and the mom ends up saying in this episode that he was his biggest fan when he shot well, but when he didn't, he was like poking him and embarrassing him, saying stuff like
basically the same shit where like, get it out of your head. Like, play. You're not playing to your potential or whatever.
Right. The same stuff that Owen Wilson was saying to him. So,
which basically, I mean, I don't know if you guys haven't played golf. Playing golf and having someone tell you after you hit a bad shot, that's not like you. Get out of your head. Doesn't help you get out of your head at all.
No, it definitely doesn't.
It does quite literally the opposite.
Yeah. But at the same time, too, like, it's your coach. Yes, there is a sense of being positive. I don't think Owen Wilson handled it well by any means, but
I don't think it was like too terrible. But yeah, I think
it wasn't egregious the way he was talking. Yeah. Like, it wasn't like he was being like a complete asshole. He was just like, dude, like, we've been talking about this. Like, get out of your head. Just like, and in Owen Wilson's defense, he was slumped, was just shrugging, and like, could see that he was kind of pulling himself out of it and not like.
Yeah.
So if he was like aggravated but like still like dialed at least a little bit, it'd be one thing. But like he looked like he was calling it quits.
Yeah.
Which is why I think Owen Wilson got even more mad. Which I can understand that part of it.
But I think partly you just kind of have to be like, like especially he is like a good player, so you can probably like you can tell what feels different. Just be like, hey, what felt wrong in that? Like,
what part he did, and he went part of it.
Yeah, but at the same time, he kind of just had to keep pushing because he does know. He just doesn't want to think about it.
Yeah.
And then you just gotta be like, all right, well, just move on to like you can try and like say good things, but at the same time, sometimes it still doesn't go over well, and he needed to go meet a girl to feel better.
Yeah, had to see about a girl,
which she got or quit recently, and it was just still in the cart barn. But it was also because like what was it? Is it Mitz? Yeah, Mitz. Is his friend?
The girl?
No, Mitz is like the friend.
Oh, the caddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He gets stuck in his bed in the RV, or under the bed, and then Santi's mom goes in to try and get like club soda, or she goes in to get club soda for the piss.
Yeah,
and then he gets stuck. But then that girl gets fired, which that dude was being a complete scumbag, assaulted her, and then
I was gonna say the girl was serving you beers when walked in halfway through a joke, and the guy was like, what's the matter, hon? Didn't find my joke funny? Like, like she did not hear half the joke. Like, that was a ridiculous statement. And then she walks away and he grabs her wrist and it's like,
well, then
dude, that's
proceeds to say a second joke that's probably even worse,
more offensive to women.
And then just grabs her like terrible. I can't imagine ever grabbing any sort of like
server
or bar. Oh my gosh, I
don't want to grab any woman's wrist like that, Ryan. Let alone servers.
Well, I didn't mean it that way. You're the one that finished the statement for me.
Yeah.
I just said I couldn't imagine grabbing a woman like that.
You're right. Definitely not a server. He assaults her twice by grabbing her wrist, like, wait, where are you going? And then she takes a beer and splashes it in his face, and the boss comes over like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like, I'm so sorry, sir. And she's like, you're going to apologize to him? Like, what the fuck?
But granted, that dude might have had no idea that happened. I think you could explain to your boss, hey, he grabbed me by the wrist and assaulted me.
Right. But she thought, can we speak in quiet meant I'm going to fire you now? Which could have also probably happened, too. I feel like that.
Yeah, it could have been, but still you could,
explain, yeah.
Because I feel like she was just assuming her boss was a dick.
Yeah.
Which, it's like he might not have. Granted, I don't know if it's happened before and she said something and nothing happened from it.
Mm-hmm. She quits before he has a chance to fire her. So the mom, with the pitcher of club soda that she did get from the bartender.
But she was in there for a minute, which was kind of...
She drank 2 frozen cocktails.
I was like, you could be a little bit quicker.
Yeah.
You could go get him the club soda and then come back and get a cocktail.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. Do you think her alcoholism might come into a problem at some point?
Oh, yeah. I kind of thought there was a chance. Well, it wasn't...
I was worried. I thought the drinks, the way she was looking at them, I was like, oh, shit.
I thought she was gonna get kicked. She was gonna get Santi kicked out of the tournament somehow by her getting kicked out, and then he was gonna lose the bet that way.
Yeah, that would suck. But yeah, she's walking out, pours some club soda onto the same guy that she poured the beer on. Santi finds the girl, the waitress that quit her job, and is talking to her about kind of Owen Wilson being a dick, just like why he was off his game, and she was like, "You know what, like." Don't let him try to take it from you. Like, make it like that's your talent. If you're really good, like, own it. Like, do it yourself. Like, and like kind of this whole like, don't let anyone else take away from like your ability. And he comes back to the golf course and takes his bag, doesn't get on the golf cart with fucking what's his name, and
Price.
then just Price. I couldn't think of his first name. I kept wanting to call him fucking Stick. That was his nickname when he was a pro. Goes through the whole back nine playing by himself, not talking to Price whatsoever, not even getting on the golf cart with him, carrying his bag. So
she's like 8 under on the back because he was 6 over on the front. I think he ends up at like 2 under, 3
yeah,
under,
he ends up
whatever.
2 under to win.
So yeah, 8 under in the back, which is just absurd.
Yeah, insane. I mean, that final chip was absurd.
I couldn't tell if they were saying there was a chip or like if it was like looked like an eagle from like a maybe a 2.
Yeah, because the dude was -1, and I think he was losing to him. Yeah. So I think that had to be an Eagles chip, right? Yeah. So impressive win.
One thing that chick said that just like don't let it take it from you. It's like he was already pissed to begin with, so I don't like the comments didn't make him pissed.
Yeah.
So it's not like he wasn't already being upset anyway.
Right. Like he was
taking it from himself.
Price wasn't the reason that you were shooting bad, like
or being upset in the first place. He just got more mad after Price pushed him.
So yeah, I get what you're saying, but that's gonna be something. Like he ends up winning. Price gets the money for the bet, and
I don't think Santi has found out about that yet.
No,
the mom and Mitz know because he calls Mitz or whatever and says, "Hey, gonna need you to pull around the 18. We might need to run away from this place."
No, Mitz calls him out. When he's in the RV with him.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, Price comes to the RV and is talking to
you're right.
Underneath the bed.
I forgot. Because
he's looking for Santi.
Yeah, that was because that was before the back nine. You're right.
Yeah,
that's when they find out he's betting on him because Mitz is just like, would you put money on him?
Yeah, he's like this tournament means nothing. He goes unless it does. And is he scratching his ear right now? And she's like, he is scratching his ear. He's like, he does that when he lies. And Price is like, no, I don't. And like did it again. Dude, I was gonna say I enjoy the show a lot. Quick question for you with the wrap up these first 3 episodes. Holly watched a little bit of one of the episodes with me and asked me if I thought Price and Santi's mom was gonna get together. I didn't want that to be a thing. I was like, I don't know.
More on her and Mitz.
By the end of episode 3, I am fully convinced it's gonna be Mitz and Santi's
how much
mom.
he hates the dogs and didn't really like her at first. I feel like it's just lining up.
set him up that when he was under the bed was like, you're gonna need to talk to me with more respect and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I 100% think that's gonna be the case.
Calls the cops and says, "Hey, I got a man stuck in bed. Not as sexy as you think."
Yeah. So Santi wins the.
Because honestly,
tourney.
I kind of still have hope for Owen Wilson's character.
And the wife.
Yeah, I still got hope.
That's what I kind of thought
Bento
too.
Ben out of the way.
I thought the same thing too. Is the way I saw Mitz and the mom together, I'm like. And then, honestly, when I was watching the home videos, I'm like, damn, they got to get back together. They're so happy together.
I'm assuming most of my thought is, like, they probably, got divorced because of, like, the breakdown happening, and then, like, he probably just spiraled out of control after that.
And if this brings him back,
yeah, so I don't think it was
fall in love with him again.
I think it was just she didn't love the person he became and didn't necessarily
Absolutely.
fall out of love with who he was.
Right, I agree. Absolutely, I agree. Overall, enjoyed the first 3 episodes. Yeah.
So we got episodes 4, 5, and 6 for next week.
To wrap up the show, we're doing a draft of Leonardo DiCaprio movies, right?
Oh, I thought you meant to wrap up Stick as a show.
No.
I was like, I don't
think we can do that in 3 episodes.
Well, I also was like, I don't think this has anything to do with the show.
We didn't do a draft last week. Do you know who goes first? The last draft was team names.
I think I got the first one because I picked the Eagles.
Yes, you went first with the Eagles. All right, so I get the first Leonardo DiCaprio movie.
Are you basing this? I know we've done this before. Are you basing this off of his performance in total or the movies?
I would say his performance
Okay.
in the movie. Yeah, I would say his performance in the movie. With the first pick, give me Wolf of Wall Street.
That's a good one. Kind of figured that was going to be taken. I'll go with Inception.
Okay.
And then I'll go with The Revenant. His Oscar,
first Oscar
winning performance.
Can't argue with that, right? I like the picks. Give me Django.
Yep, that was I kind of was thinking that, but I was like, give me the Oscar performance.
I understand, and also give me the Departed.
Give me Gangs of New York, and so there's 2 on here that I've never seen that I don't want to take because I've never seen them. But at the same time, I know they're up there.
I feel like you haven't seen a movie on here that I'm looking at right now, and it blows my mind that you haven't seen it. So you're picking a movie right now that you've never seen.
Well, I'm between that one I have that I don't think. I'm gonna take the one. I'm gonna take the one I have seen. Let's give me Shutter Island.
That's a good one. He has a great role in that.
I love the movie too.
I'll take Titanic to end it.
Yeah, I haven't seen that. The
Yeah,
other one was thinking of was Great Gatsby. I thought you knew I haven't seen Titanic because that was in our draft of things we haven't seen.
Yeah, that's right. I didn't know you didn't see that. Gatsby's another great role by him, but I mean he's the lead in Titanic. It's just a overall incredible movie. And
only honorable mention I had on my list because other than that, you took Titanic, Wolf of Wall Street, and Django.
Well, I mean, we have my whole list except for one right now. What's your honorable mention? Hope it's mine.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
What's Eating Gilbert Grape?
I don't think I've seen that either. Either that or I haven't seen it so long I forget.
He plays it's a very young Leo, and he plays a Down syndrome boy.
Yeah, I think I have seen that just not in a while.
Yeah.
I recently saw Gangs in New York. I saw it I think last weekend.
I haven't seen that.
Really,
that's one
really
that's not
good.
on my list here.
I think it's got. There's another big act. Is it Daniel Day-Lewis? There's another big actor in it. It's the other main role. It's really good.
Yeah, with that last pick. I had Gatsby, Shutter Island, and Titanic when you were taking a pause, and I'm like, I'm happy with any one of these 3. I don't know. Did I make a mistake going Titanic over Gatsby?
That's what I thought you were gonna go with, and I took it because I feel like I could see people being like, "Oh, you didn't pick Great Gatsby," but it's like never seen it.
Titanic's more iconic than Great Gatsby.
No, I do agree.
But Gatsby is a great movie.
Yes.
All right, recapping our Leonardo DiCaprio movie draft. With the first pick, I took Wolf of Wall Street, and then when it came back to me, I got Django, The Departed, and I ended my draft with The Titanic.
I had the second pick, so I took Inception, The Revenant, Gangs of New York, and then Shutter Island. Tell us what your favorite pick or groups of picks are, and then any honorable mentions that we left out of our lists.
Yeah, honorable mentions are What's Eating Gilbert Grape and Great Gatsby. And then what was yours?
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. That wraps up our episode. Thank you guys for watching. Next week we will be recapping both the drafts. Just mostly Philly teams, who we got, what we think of them. Probably a little bit of hype after watching all their highlight films from college, but maybe some NFL news and episodes 4 through 6 of The Stick.
Yep. And I think next week you want to try and do the best NFL team from 2025, like build that team.
Okay, yeah, I like that too.
So if you guys want to build your own team, so it's obviously like it's any player from those years 2025, any team, any year, build your best lineup, best quarterback, best running back.
All NFL team, like anyone, and you're not strictly doing one team.
Yeah, no, any team.
Okay, All right, I like it. All right,
So
thanks.
make your own teams, and then we can kind of all compare. It's not going to be a draft, so we're not going to be taking each other's.
Now, are we
picks again.
drafting the most athletic
Nope,
people?
Nope, this is going to be the best. I said best. I didn't say top athletes.
All right. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next week.
Peace out.